Good morning, ladybugs. Well, today we're going to have some fun, more fun, with our rocks. We've been talking about rocks and crystals all week, and gosh, we've done so many things with it. We've done art projects and made a museum with it and put our rocks to bed and all sorts of things. Well, today we are going to see which rocks make the biggest splash when you throw them in water. So sometimes, if you're at a lake or a pond, you are hiking around, and or maybe you just see a big puddle, and maybe when you're walking, you find a nice rock, and you want to throw it in the puddle. You want to throw it in the water, in the pond or the lake, right? And you want to see how big of a splash it makes. So I thought it would be fun if we did that today. And I got a bucket here. I kind of angled it a little bit because I think that's I want you guys to be able to see the water. Normally I would just have it flat on the ground, but this time I angled it a little bit, and I filled it with water. And when I'm done with the water, I'm going to recycle it in the garden. We'll be talking a little bit more about that next week when we do our Earth Week, and I'm going to read a great book called Why Should I Save Water? So that's later, but right now we're just going to have fun with splashing the rocks. I'm going to move back a little bit because I have a feeling I'm going to get wet here. I expect to get wet. That's okay. The sun's coming out. It's a nice day. All right, so I have my tray that when we were doing our mini museums, I have my tray of big rocks, and then yesterday or the day before when we did the put a rock to bed, and I have some nice logs here. Have a little bit of moss. So I've got all size rocks. I've got my big lava rock here. This is a really heavy one. We'll be weighing this tomorrow in our Zoom class. We'll be weighing rocks and see which ones weigh more. Then I have some teeny tiny little rocks like this one here. Okay, so I'm going to toss them in the water one by one, and we can see which ones make the biggest splash. We can do some guesstimating. If you're a scientist, you make a prediction about something. And a prediction is you think, oh, I think this rock is going to make the biggest splash. Or maybe you say, I think this rock is going to make the biggest splash. And that's your prediction. And then you have to test it. You have to do the experiment to see if it's true or not. And that way you can find out if it's true. All right, so let's see. I think my first rock, I'm going to use this tiny little rock. I don't know if you can see it. I'm going to try to toss all the rocks the same. That way, if I went like this with one and then like that with another really gently, that wouldn't be a very good experiment. Like, should do it with the experiment, you should do it the same way each time you do it. Okay, are we ready? Enough talking. Here we go. I think I'm gonna do underhand throw. I'm gonna toss it. Do you think it's gonna make a big splash? Not really. That wasn't too bad. How about this one? All right, ready? And I can hear it. I actually did get a little wet with that one. All right, let's go to the slightly bigger rocks. These rocks they're not medium. They're maybe medium small rocks, okay? Ready? 1, 2, 3. Oh, that definitely made a bigger sound on the bottom of the barrel. I don't know if the splash was any bigger. Did you see the water come up? When I'm doing it next time, look at the water here and see how much the splash rises, and see, maybe that could be a good way to test our experiment. Okay, so let's go with something a little bit bigger, like this one right here. This one is kind of it's a medium small, but it's heavier. So do you think that's going to make a difference when we're tossing our rocks in the water? If something is really light, like I'm trying to find a medium rock that's kind of light. Well, this is a little lighter. Kind of hard to believe because they're about the same size, but this one is a little lighter. All right, so maybe I'll do them both at the same time and look at the water and see if you can see which one makes the bigger splash up. Okay, ready, set. That was about the same. That was about the same. I really didn't notice too much there. All right, so now I think I'm going to do another medium, kind of small rock. This time when I'm going to do it, I'm going to try to throw it a little bit higher just to see if that makes a difference with the splash. Ready, set. I almost didn't get it in the barrel there. No, that didn't seem to make a difference. All right, let's move to the heavier rocks. I'm going to search for heavier. This is a pretty heavy rock right here. Let's see. Ready? 1, 2, 3, go. Oh, definitely that seemed a little splashier to me. What do you think? Do you think it did to you? This is one of my heaviest rocks. This is actually a little bit lighter. This is my lava rock, and I don't know, maybe it did come up from a volcano sometime a long time ago. And then this is heavier. So let's make a prediction. I'm going to do them one at a time. I'm going to do the lava rock first, okay? And let's see how big of a splash it makes, okay? And then we'll see if the one that's a little bit smaller, but it's much heavier, much denser. Let's see. Ready? 1, 2, 3. That made a pretty big splash. Not as big as this one though. I don't know. Do you think this one's going to make a bigger splash? Let's see. Ready, set. I'm going to try to toss. If I toss it too high in the air, I'm afraid it won't make the barrel. Ready, set. Oh, guess what? Just what I thought might happen happened. It didn't make the barrel. All right, I'm going to try it again. I don't have a very good aim here. Ready, set. Oh, definitely some water came even on my tray. That was definitely the biggest splash ever. Let's see. Let me reach in. That one. Let's try it again, because that was a good one. That might be my heaviest rock I have here. Ready, set. Did you hear that? Yeah, that was pretty loud. Let's try some wood. Do you think this wood is very heavy? Well, trees are big, and if they fall and you try to move the wood does seem heavy. But this is kind of a little log, and it's not that heavy. But let's see. Ready, set, toss. I thought it was about the same as a rock, but oh, I don't know if you can see. My piece of wood is not going to the bottom. All my other rocks sank all the way down. My piece of wood, though, is floating. It's kind of floating on the top. I wonder if this log is a little taller. See, this one is a little bit bigger, but this one, let's see if this makes a splash. Ready, set. Oh, that kind of made it like a gentle splash. That wasn't a big clunk like the other rocks that hit the bottom. It didn't even hit the bottom, actually. It's still floating on the top. And so is my other piece of wood. But how about this big piece of wood? This is definitely definitely heavier. I'm not sure which tree this came from, but it's got some pretty green on there, which is really cool. And some kind of sharp notches that are sticking out. Oh, and remember we always tell you don't pick the bark from the tree, but here's the bark. I can do it with this because this is already off the tree. But actually this is a good time to tell you why we don't want you to pick the bark. Toss that in there, and that's definitely floating. So see, under the bark is the core of the tree, and if you pick all the bark off, then the tree, it's like it's not dressed. It's like it doesn't have any clothes on, and then little insects come and they get inside the branch and they make holes, and they can make the tree really sick, and then the tree dies. So that's why we don't want you to pick the bark. All right, ready, set. I'm gonna toss it. I'm gonna do it horizontal this way. 1, 2, 3. Oh, I got a little wet there. That was definitely made the biggest splash, even though it wasn't the heaviest. Let's see. Well, let's just have fun and toss. I'm gonna see how high can I make it. So I'm kind of done with my experiment. I'm gonna just see if I can make a different experiment. See, I'm gonna really toss it in there to see how tall the little splash thing will go. Okay, ready? Oh, definitely if I go and I make myself really tall, then I do it really hard, definitely makes a bigger splash. Here we go. I'm gonna keep tossing. I don't know. I don't think my man rock, I don't think I wanna, I'll just toss it in there. Okay, here's the rest of my little rocks. I'm gonna gather them all up. Okay, ready? Maybe I should do them all at once. Okay? I've got a whole bunch of rocks in here. Ready, set. I'm gonna make the biggest splash ever. Ooh, I definitely did. It got everything wet around me. Well, that was fun. I love splashing rocks in the water. Even if you get a little wet, you can always change your clothes. The other thing I thought we could do is you could take, after you splash your rocks in the water, you could take some dish soap and you could wash your rocks, right? So you just add a little bit of dish soap, and then I have a little towel here, and clear my tray, and I can wash my rocks. I don't want to get my clothes wet. I can wash my rocks, so I'm giving my rocks like a nice bath. And they're going to be clean and shiny. Look at that. And then I can just dry them on my tray. I think I'll take my wood and I'll take it off. And the wood looks really pretty color right now because it's dark. It's like after it rains, if you walk after it rains. Ooh, look how green that looks. Okay, I'm going to get a couple more. Oh, there's my big, look at my lava rock. I feel like it's in the ocean and being splashed by waves. Okay, and then maybe a couple more. I'm going to give them a good scrub, make them nice and clean, and then I can play with them some more like we have been. Okay, rinse it off a little bit. Maybe my heavy rock. Oh, and wow, you know what? After you clean it, it's amazing how I can see like all the stripes and things on the rock when it's wet. The water really brings out the color and the patterns on the rock. Okay, ladybugs, I hope you had a good time having more fun with rocks, and today in our afternoon Zoom class we're going to do some more fun things, and then tomorrow we will have a rock rolling contest to see which rocks roll down. Well, we're going to try to make like a hill, but it's really just going to be like a box which rocks roll down the ramp the hardest, the fastest. That's that's hard. That's a hard sentence because it has three R words: rocks, roll, and ramp. All right, ladybugs. I will see you this afternoon. I hope maybe this weekend or when the sun's coming out after the clouds, you can get outside and maybe find something to put water in, and you can do a little bit of rock splashing and then maybe clean your rocks. Okay? Thank you. Bye bye.